We're here at the 15th Annual Asian Film Festival of Dallas. We're here with the director behind MAHJONG BOX. Fabien, introduce yourself to us.
Hello, I'm Fabien, and I'm living in China for 12 years, and I do films. I do my two first feature film in China. The first one was called Lao Wai, and it was shot in Shanghai in 2010 and attend Dallas here Asian Film Festival in 2011. So this is my second time coming here, and I really enjoy to be here for the second time, as it is the world premiere as well.
I'm curious, what attracted you to Shanghai in the first place? What made you go out there 12 years ago?
My first time in China was, I live in Beijing the first time, and then I have a job there, and then I decided to move to Shanghai because also my wife is Chinese, so we moved there together, and then after that I tried to do some video job there, and try also to make my own project. Like I did a few documentaries, and before doing my first feature in 2010, and the experience was pretty good. So I keep doing this, and then I did my second feature film. Yeah.
How has it changed from 2010 to now as far as you as a filmmaker? Has it gotten easier? Has it gotten harder? I mean, what has it changed for you as a filmmaker?
The situation when I made my first feature in 2010, we didn't have so much independent movie in China. So that was a good time for me to make this movie, because I have more visibility, I would say. And but now, after 5 years, you can see many young filmmakers doing now the industry of independent movie or internet movie, because the internet finance a lot of movie, like within 1 million RMB budget, which is $100,000. So you have a lot of movie like this, and it's hard to have a visibility, and especially they are doing more commercial movie, not very artistic movie. So for independent movie, artistic movies, quite difficult to be released in China, but we try to.
Yeah, there's a lot of action films that are shot throughout the Shanghai streets. It's interesting. You talk about the independent film in Shanghai. Can you talk about location finding and searching throughout the city? I mean, in this film in particular, like what were some of the obstacles? Because you do want to find things that are not necessarily always seen in these big movies.
For me personally, because I live in Shanghai for a long time, I try to shoot in the places I have affinity with, and I like to shoot to the place where I went. So all the places you see in the movie, that's some place I like to go sometimes, and yeah. So in terms of filming, authorization and this kind of stuff, it's pretty hard to do this in Shanghai. Shanghai is the economic capital, and everything is quite expensive. If you want to ask for authorization, then you have to pay a lot of money. And for my film, we didn't have this budget, so we have a lot of contacts actually. And for example, we have a contact, a PR from the PR of the hotel we shoot the swimming pool scene. That's a wonderful place, and for one day it should cost like, I don't know, thousands of dollars, but we got it for free, and we got a beautiful scene there. And yeah, it's always like that. For our movie, we try to find everything, good location, but as a low price, or yeah. And Yeah, and now if I want to continue doing film in China, I think I will have to go more commercial. So my next film is going to be a commercial one.
It's a bigger budget too, then.
Yeah, in my level, I would say, because I met a producer, and for this, as it would be my third film, it would be a bit about 3 million euro budget. Because they can that's the budget they can put on me from my experience, and that's what they say. So, and then we see step by step if
you can go more and more.
Yeah, more and more maybe. Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask about that pull shot? And you shot underwater a little bit for the certain parts of it. What was that like? What cameras were you able to shoot on? And yeah, tell us a bit about that.
We shoot with the Canon C300, and because we needed to be flexible, we shoot about many locations, and we needed to move fast, and he has to be very convenient. So this little camera is really convenient. So we decided to shoot with that. And
it's tiny. It's a tiny camera.
Yeah, it's not too tiny, but it's very convenient. You have it's very portative, I think. Yeah, if you want to mount all the rig, it's very fast. So we didn't need to spend much time about it.
So how did you do the water shoot? Was it on the same camera or?
Yeah, actually, the swimming pool, the border of the swimming pool was transparent.
Ah, okay.
So we didn't have to go underwater. We just shot behind the border.
It looks great. It doesn't seem like it seems seamless, which is great.
Yeah.
I've got to ask then. Can you talk about your casting and where you found these wonderful actors and actresses?
Okay, for the male character, James, we met, I would say, two years ago. At that time, he was not doing movies. He was doing like more modeling and show on TV. But he really wanted to, because his Chinese was very good. I think he studied for at least 3 or 4 years. And he tried to make his name in the entertainment industry in China. So, and after that, he was interested to make a movie. He has this opportunity to work with a famous director on a TV series for the TV, and he has the leading role, and but he never make a film and never get the leading role in a feature film, which is the most important, I think, for an actor. So after 1 year, when I finished my script, I said I'm ready. I was still interested to make this movie, and they said yes. So we went to do this. Yeah. And for the female character, she was very nice, because she used to shoot with very high-level Chinese director, and she didn't know me, but she was interested about the project, about two personalities in the film. She played two different characters, Ling and Bobo, and for her that was more like a challenge. So she really wanted to do this. So,
did you shoot with the Lings, like the Ling parts first and then Bobo, or did you shoot them kind of going back and forth?
We shoot going back and forth. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So every time we need to, because for Ling the makeup and the hair dress was not. I mean, maybe, but. Every time, I think for Bobo, it was more, we spent much more time to do the makeup, the hair and everything. So yeah, that was a little bit. I mean, to change every time, it was a little bit tricky. But we have a very good makeup artist, so it was good.
What was it like shooting the nightclub sequences and the dance sequences? I love those scenes in the movie. Was it? How much time did you have in those locations, and what was that like?
For the acting part in this club, I have because I used to work in the nightlife industry in Shanghai, so I have the contact also regarding the location. I have this nightclub for free, so we were authorized for shooting from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. after they close the club. So they make everything clean for us, and we just shoot the dialogue scene during that time, during half day, I would say, like about 6 hours. And for the crowd shot, we went back in the evening and we just shot crowd in the club.
Oh, so that was a real crowd.
That was a real crowd.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And also the reason I choose the C300 is the sensitivity of the camera. You can shoot very low light with a high sensitivity. So for shooting in natural condition, like in a nightclub, which is quite dark, we have quite nice shots, I think.
Yeah, it pops. You see everything. There's not a lot of dark spots in it. That's pretty amazing. Wow. I didn't realize that. Wow.
Yeah, the reason we choose the C300 was the portability and also the sensitivity of the camera from the ISO.
I've got to ask the actual box, the MAHJONG box. Is there any story behind the choice of that particular one? Because it looks interesting. It looks cool.
The box itself, or
and the pieces, because the color.
Actually, this box in every family in China, not every family, but especially in the south, they used to play at home mahjong. So normally you play mahjong for 4 players, but in the family. Usually, I mean, in China there was a one-child policy, so there was the 2 parents and the child. So it happens that you can play at 3, especially in the south, in the Sichuan province, for example. And they have their own box, and I like the fact that it is mentioned that. During the Cultural Revolution, they have to play and they have to find some way to play. So at that time they didn't have so much money, so they just build the box by themselves and build a set by themselves. And I like this idea, so I put it in the movie to make some little bit historical background of this.
Is it fun then because you're so knowledgeable and you've lived there for so long, but still being, an outsider into some circumstances, being able to showcase the history, even though, that's not part of the film. I mean, but it really is. It is the background of the film, if you will. Is it fun to showcase to the audience your new home, your new place that you call home?
You mean...
to show us Shanghai that we normally don't see.
Yeah, actually, I like... that's what I missed in my first film. What I regret, because I focused on 2 cities. So at that time I didn't have... I didn't shoot very well Shanghai for my first film, I would say. I shot very well the second city, which was Wuhan. But for the second film, I really wanted to not miss any shot I want, because some part of the city make me think about New York. You remember the bridge and where the 2 characters work together, and it reminds me a scene of a midnight cowboy. And I really wanted to make to show some reference in that film, and to show that in Shanghai you have also this architecture that reminds you the Western in America. So some of the shots was really chosen because they were cinematographic. And for the interior scene, it's more intimate, and that part I try to focus more on the character, on the relationship between them. So it's more psychological when you are at home, but when you get outside, it's more, you see more of the city. It's more contemplative, I would say. Yeah.
I'm kind of curious what films were your visual inspiration, if you had any. Were there any particular films that you look to as kind of, you want to capture this moment or that moment?
But for the walking scene on the bridge, it was Midnight Cowboy. And there is a lot of film I love, and I think unconsciously I shot some scene that from the movie I used to see before, or I used to love, but right now I can't tell you which film. Sorry, I need to.
You go back and look at it.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, I'm curious, being able to return to a film festival and have your film brought back to Asian Film Festival.
Yeah.
What does it mean to be a veteran now of the film festival? Your films have been recognized by AFFD. What does it mean for you to have another film come back here?
For me, it's really touching. First, I didn't expect it to come back, so that was really nice, and especially Texas is very special for me because we just mentioned Midnight Cowboy, but it's Texas is a really cinematographic city, so I'm really happy to be here, and I have this link and relationship with the city, so I'm very glad and honored that they invite me for the second time. Yeah.
I've got to ask, since you've kind of talked about you're taking a step up in budget in the next film.
Yeah.
Do you have what your next film is going to be, or an idea, or the script, or do you know what you kind of would like to do?
Yeah, it's still very early to talk about this, but the next film will be more about Chinese culture. I mean, until now, I only work by myself on the script, and for this commercial one, I will need to work with a Chinese screenwriter, because even if I can draw the storyline of the script, and propose some dialogue, that would be not very complete. I will need someone to make this dialogue more funny or more more touching for the Chinese audience. So I will need to work with a Chinese screenwriter for this one. Right now, I just did the first draft, and the next step will be the cooperation with the Chinese screenwriter to make this story more accurate for the Chinese audience.
To capture those nuances in sense of humor, then?
Yeah, the sense of humor and okay, yeah.
Will it be as dramatic a film, or will it be more?
No.
Okay.
It will be an action movie, and with some comedy inside. They really want to laugh, and they like some, I would say, spicy. So in China we say la jiao. La jiao means spice. So we need to put some spice in the movie. So and that's what I'm not very good at. So that's why I need a Chinese screenwriter with me to put some spice in the script.
Wow, it'll be fascinating to see. Wow, very cool. Since you have lived over there for so long, what are the parts of Shanghai that you like? I mean, what you talk about being a part of the nightclub scene, but what do you personally love about that city? What stands out to you as far as the beauty of the city?
I like the river, the Huangpu River. When you go there, you know, the bond. The bond is the scenery close to the river. You have this old architecture with old banks and from England or from France, and so this architecture is that's what attracts me at first, and also I like in some other part of the city the mess. I like this city has very different facets. Some of part of the city are very, very, very clean, very pure, very luxurious. But some other part are very popular, crowdy, and that's a city who can welcome anyone, the poor and the rich. Because if you want to live in Shanghai, for the poor it's possible. For the rich, it's also possible. If you want to eat cheap, it's possible. If you want to eat expensive, it's possible. Right now, Shanghai is a city that can welcome many different people from. Actually, in Shanghai, you don't have so many. I mean, you have the Shanghainese, but many people from China come to live in Shanghai. So I like this feeling that it's an open city. Now the life, the cost of life is more and more expensive. But I think still in 10 years it will be possible to live there for anyone.
As far as taking a step up into the next film phase, and you're adding a screenplay writer, does your team change? Like your producers, the team you utilize, are you going to work with new people? I mean, or would you like to keep that tight-knit group you've had?
No, for the second film I keep my DOP, who is from Belgium, and but from the other crew they were different people from my first film. I think for the third one I would like to keep my editor because I work with her for more than 10 years. But I don't know yet what will happen, because doing commercial film, I'm not the one who decide, and I'm a bit afraid about that because the producer decides. So I have to accept this way of work. So they will probably impose some people to me. I don't know yet, but that would be a different way to work. But for me, I really want to stick working with my editor because she's really good, and we have a great relationship, and maybe with my DOP if that would be possible. Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask how long the edit was for this film? And how long the edit was for this film?
We spent 6 months for the edit. My editor was in France, so I went back to France and make the editing with her for 6 months. Actually, and then after that she came to China and we spent another 2 months.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So because it's important when you make editing of a long feature to make some pause. So after these first 6 months, we stopped like 2 months. And after that, we came back to the editing and see what we did, and that gave us a distance about the work we did. So, and then we try to make it better. So we work another 1 or 2 months, I think.
How much changed in that time? Was there massive change, or were there specific sequences that were completely altered?
Yeah, we delete. There is one character in the film which is who is Biaolong, the guy on the bridge. There was more scene with him actually. There was some dialogue scene with him, and we just cut because we needed to focus more about the story between Ling and Tom and Bobo. The past, his ex relationship with his wife, and the future with Bobo. So that's why we just cut some scene with Biaolong, because we will be lost, and it will take. It will be a digression. I don't know if we can say that. It will
take you a different direction.
It will take in a different direction. So we needed to focus more on that story between Tom and Bobo, on this triangle. So that's why.
Very interesting. I know it's a serious film. It's a psychological drama. But is there anything in the fact that, like you said, you have a Chinese wife, was there anything that you put in yourself that slipped into the film about just relationships, or do you know what I mean, like little nuances that you would tell, Tom might have do this because you've experienced it as someone who's done it. Did any of that bleed into the film, or did you separate yourself from the film?
It's not autobiographic. I did separate myself from the film because what I think was interested was to make a kind of Chinese Vertigo, because it's the story about the double. So I like the fact that he loses his wife and they find another girl who looks like his wife, and try to get along with her and to go out with her. And I like to explore also the madness. That's something I really like. I didn't want. Tom is more fragile than mad. Than crazy, and I like to explore this typical madness, which is he's not totally crazy, but he has some period of being. At the moment in the film, he has the feeling that Bobo is Ling, and that confusion is the result of this kind of madness. I don't know how we call that in English, but it's a psychological fact. People who get into depression, sometimes if that depression is severe, they can have some period they feel well, and sometimes they feel conscious, and sometimes they can get in another state, which is they have hallucination. So I wanted to explore that kind of psychology. So
fascinating stuff. Wow. So do you mind if I ask then, how do you find the inspiration for your choices? Like, what made you focus on this type of material? Where did you find this passion for this type of psychological change?
I guess in my past, I have some friends, especially one who was my best friend, got sick like this, but that was very severe, and it couldn't stand to be like this. So, and from what I know is because he didn't want to talk about that, but I know he has some voice in his head or some hallucination. Sometimes he was, watching the TV and has some hallucination, like he has the impression that for example, if he was watching the news, he has the feeling that the presenter was talking to him or something. Wow. So I knew that was real. That was a real issue and this is a real issue for many people who are sick from this. So I try to also, because I saw a lot of people like this, in France, in Europe, you have many suicide. I don't want to go that far, but I was very fascinated by this kind of psychology, and I tried to talk a little bit about this in the movie, but it's not going that far.
Yeah.
Because Tom is not going to suicide, and I mean he barely, but then he has his friend Violon who come at the right time to save him. Yeah, I like to. Yeah, the purpose of this movie was to talk a little bit about this illness, I would say. Yeah.
When you were just talking about that, I thought of like a movie like Requiem for a Dream, where she sees the presenter talk to her. And you do see that in film, and it being utilized well, and that's fascinating. Yeah. Do you mind if I ask? Do you find yourself checking in on French film? You know, do you look back there, or are you immersed more into what's going on in China with you?
I used to watch a lot of film, French film, American film, when I was in France, when I study film, so I have to watch a lot of film. But right now, I have this background now, and when I make my film, I try to. Okay, I have this luggage of Western film in my head, but now I try to immerse myself in the Chinese culture and try to understand more the Chinese film, the Chinese culture, and try to bring more of this culture in my stories. I try to mix, I would say, both Western and Chinese culture in the movie. That's why I used the MAHJONG box, because it's a typical traditional object. I mean, many people in China play the MAHJONG box, and I think I was interested to use this tradition to make a more Western story. I mean, the double. The Chinese, it's a Chinese vertigo. I would say. It's just in a low budget, but it's.
Yeah, I see what you're saying though. Especially her performance is so good, separating it fits. That's perfect. Yeah. Have you changed then as a filmmaker because you are immersing yourself from, the previous film to this? How much have you changed as a filmmaker, do you think?
I think after watching the film, some of my friends told me you could do some suspense movie because or close to horror movie, but not horror movie, but that scene of the Mahjong at the end of the film is very tense.
Yeah. And
some friends told me that you're quite good at doing the tension in the film. So I think I realized that with that film that I could go
one step further.
Yeah. So that's why my next film I will put a lot of tension, I think, in it. I will put even more than in this film.
Really?
I think I will go that way because I think I can control this atmosphere. I like tension in the film, so I will try to go that way.
Since you're here in Dallas, do you mind if I ask, do you have any plans to go to try certain food or to go to certain places here in our city, in Dallas?
In Dallas?
Yeah.
I like, last time I came, I went to a very good barbecue and I really want to go again. Yeah. I don't remember the place. Last time I have a friend who took me there. I wish I could come back this time. Yeah. I still have 5 days left, so I think I would go.
Texas barbecues in your future.
Yeah.
I love it. Do you mind to ask, for us Western audiences, what are some films or filmmakers that you do like still on the Western side, now that you kind of immerse yourself in the Chinese side of film? But what filmmakers still inspire you, either back home in Europe or
in Europe?
Yeah.
I like Luis Buñuel.
Oh yeah.
A lot. I like many directors from the Nouvelle Vague in France, and from the US I love Scorsese, Coppola. I love also Jeff Nichols. Yeah, I really like this director. I like this new wave. I mean, it's been a long time now, but this wave of independent American cinema, and with Jeff Nichols, Take Shelter,
Mud, Midnight Special.
Yeah, I really love all this movie, and I like the atmosphere he put in this film, the tension he had, and so yeah, that's the kind of director who inspire me.
He's one of my favorite directors. That's so cool.
Really?
Yeah. Jeff is. The Southern culture is so embedded in his film. Very similar, I think, to what you were trying to capture with the box. The culture of Shanghai bleeds into the film. His films capture that. Mud and Take Shelter. You see this country that you may not see in most American films, and it's very American. It's the heartland. Yeah. Wow, fascinating. I love that you brought up Jeff. I love Jeff Nichols. Well, I guess the kind of final answer is coming back to a festival. Do you approach coming to AFFD with different hopes or different aspirations, or do you just come just knowing like I'm back again?
I don't know. I don't have any expectation. For me, that was good to come by because I really have a good memories from the first time, and I really want to also to see my friend here again, and for me it's very important also to show the film to American audience, to see how they react to the film. And yesterday when we made the screening, I had also asked. They asked me a few questions, but I also asked them after the Q&A if they think the movie was not too long or something. I like to know what they really think about the storyline, and so I was very curious about the American audience.
So where does the film go from here? Or where can we find out more information about the film as well?
Sorry?
Where does the film go from here? Are you going to have more festival run, or are you going to look to have more premieres? What's next for you? Yeah,
we're going to have more festival, and then in China we're going to have a distribution in China, which gonna be a challenge because as I told you, there is many films. Most of them are commercial. We have a little hope because this movie is not totally arty movie. I mean, it's not.
It seems accessible. It seems.
Yeah, it seems. Especially the second part is more tense and have some suspense. So our distributor, he think that we could have a chance to get some audience. I mean, it's still a challenge, but. So after I come back, right now we are on negotiation with the distributor to see the strategy we're gonna have to show this movie. Also, the actor has a very popular show in China from Jiangsu TV. Jiangsu is a province in the south of China, and this show is getting very popular in different parts of China. It's not only in Jiangsu. So the strategy will be to show the movie in the part of China where the show is popular. Yeah. So, and also the other strategy will be to show the film where the mahjong is popular, and yes, like Sichuan. Yeah, and also the two big cities like Beijing and Shanghai. And Shanghai also because we show a lot about Shanghai. So yeah. we need to think about all these aspects.
Serious stuff, though.
Yeah.
You got to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Fabien, I appreciate the time. I was so glad that you're coming back to the festival, and we can't wait to see you. Hopefully next time with something very spicy and out there. And I hope people will definitely take a look at the. I like what you said, the Chinese Vertigo.
Yeah.
But thank you for coming back. Thank you so much,
very
Fabien.
much.